Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new here, we put out daily content on all things gaming, so if you're down with that, then tap subscribe and ring that bell. Also, make sure you stay all the way until the end for some sweet bloopers. I'm sure I'm bound to mess up at some point. Plus, leave us a comment down below with what your favorite Disney movie is, and while you ponder that, let's jump into the top 10 worst Disney video games ever. In at number 10, Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys. Yeah, I can't believe that's actually the name as well. This Disney video game disaster was published by Phoenix Games and developed by Aqua Pacific and released in 2006 for the PS2. For starters, the game is awful because it can't even really be considered a video game. It's literally just a bunch of mini games and unintentionally funny cutscenes all crammed together. Also, it's a bit of false advertising. The cover, while crude looking, does imply that 7 dwarfs will be in the game, but in reality it's just 7 young boys, which is very confusing. I mean, why would you why, Disney? Plus, the depiction of black people in this game is crazy racist considering it came out in 2006. To make matters worse, the animation overall is just straight up messy. In at number 9, Magical Racing Tour. Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour is a go-kart racing video game based on the attractions at the Walt Disney World Resort. In order to feed off of the success of Mario Kart, Disney tossed their lovable characters into some go-karts and said, "Come at me, Mario." All of the tracks in the game, as I mentioned, were based around advertising specific rides at Disney, such as the Jungle Cruise and Space Mountain. This focus on brand awareness, though, really takes you out of the game and makes you wonder, why am I not just playing Mario Kart instead? Plus, the only recognizable characters are Chip, Dale, Jiminy Cricket, and so literally no one's favorite Disney characters. In at number 8, Mulan. Released for the Sega Mega Drive and based on the film Mulan, this game is an action platformer that allows players to take control of the main character Mulan. Although it's based on a Disney movie, I believe this first game was actually a bootleg, which means Disney may not have authorized the rights for it. Either way, you're not missing much. For the most part, the video game does stay true to the movie, but things get weird when you fight your enemies. For whatever reason, whatever company made this game made her enemies look exactly like Mulan's army of friends, which is really strange considering you have to kill them with a sword in the game. It plays out like some sort of weird revenge plot against her friends. In at number 7, Disneyland Adventures. Created with the intention of people playing on the new Xbox Kinect, this game is an open world video game released in 2011. Sounds like a cool idea, but in reality this game was a huge disappointment, ripe with poor quality level structures. For starters, if anyone else has played the Kinect 1.0, you remember just how difficult it was to do fairly simple things. Add that complexity and unfinished technology to the wonderful world of Disney and you have a recipe for frustration. Even the part where you have to hug Snow White is difficult and awkward, both as a child and as an adult. It requires gamers to have finely tuned motor skills to perform relatively minute tasks, which is quite challenging for the average child playing this game. What became even more frustrating for many people that enjoy Disney is the lack of popular rides that weren't included in the game. Not my favorite rides. In at number 6, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. To be fair, this terrible Disney game was released back in 1990 for the NES, but shockingly enough, it was developed and published by Capcom. Capcom typically has done very well with their games even in their early days, but this one was just whack. It's a mediocre flop at best and is filled with incomplete experiences that would make you question why you even purchased the game in the first place. It feels like every individual on their team had an idea for the game and they just greenlit every single one of them. It's essentially 5 games crammed into one into this already tiny world. As a result, it feels really crammed together, and overall Capcom really took the L on this Disney release. The game does have fans that even admit it had some potential with its ideas, but for the most part, Capcom just wasn't prepared to deliver. It's not delivery, it's Delicio. In at number 5, Fantasia. Fantasia's Mickey Mouse Magic is a side-scrolling video game produced by Sega for its Mega Drive Genesis system. This game is another tragic tale of a huge missed opportunity. The film Fantasia was one of the most innovative and inspiring Disney movies to date, yet their video game tie-in was lackluster at best. The platforming was the worst, and due to the controls being largely delayed and sluggish, the game felt awkward overall. For example, when jumping on an enemy to kill them, you would have to hit down on the D-pad or else you would take damage. Who does that? Like, how clumsy is that? And to make matters worse, nearly every area you enter into the game is packed with enemies that are trying to kill you. Perhaps the most frustrating part of this game is the musical note collection aspect. In each level you have to collect these musical notes, and if you even miss one of them, it's back to the start of the level for you. Sounds boring. In at number 4, Disney Sports Skateboarding. Also commonly referred to as Disney All-Star Sports Skateboarding, this game was one of 2 released by Konami for the GameCube. Characters featured in the game include Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, Max Goof, and Pete. While playing as Goofy on a skateboard seems enticing, the sad part about this game is how little Disney cared about it. Disney Sports Skateboarding was clearly created as a way to steal your money and give you nothing in return other than a clumsily put together Tony Hawk ripoff. The really disheartening thing is that it was clearly targeted towards kids because parents will buy them anything to stay quiet for a moment. Anyone over the age of 5 though could see that this game is the worst. In at number 3, Mickey Mousecapade. Yep, that's a real word. Again, I will give the disclaimer that in this game's defense, it was released back in 1987 for the NES, but again, Capcom did not live up to its praise. In the game, you play as Mickey Mouse as you attempt to save a young girl who just so happens to be Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Because any opportunity to shout out your other movies always comes first. Here's why it sucks though. Yes, you play as Mickey, but for whatever reason they attached Minnie as an AI to follow behind, and her overall following skills are clunky at best, and as a result it causes these horribly slow moments in the game of just waiting for her to catch up. Women, am I right? Enemies will pop up for no apparent reason, and the story is drier than a desert. To make things even more confusing, they added that crocodile from Peter Pan as one of the main bosses. I mean, sure, crocodiles are scary, but wasn't that Croc the good guy in Peter Pan? Plus, you can start this game and beat it in under 20 minutes. Some games now take 20 minutes just to download. In at number 2, Tarzan Untamed. This action-adventure game was released by Ubisoft Montreal in 2001 and it was meant for the PS2. It involves players taking on the role of Tarzan as he fights off a brutal band of British explorers. Perhaps the most disappointing part of the game is that Ubisoft Montreal made it. Come on guys, we expected much more from you than this catastrophe. In terms of movie tie-ins, this one is as awful as they come. It's largely boring because for the most part of the game it lacks depth and complexity. It feels very linear while playing as you pick up collectibles and free your primate friends. Tarzan was redeemed when he made an appearance in Kingdom Hearts, but this game still sits as an example of what could have been. We still believe there's potential now for a great Tarzan game, but no matter how hard we try, we just can't erase this mess from our memory. Last but not least, in our number 1 spot, Hannah Montana. Oof. I've seen more than a handful of this terrible Disney game in a few of those $5 game bins at Walmart, and for good reason, it's brutal. Say hello to Hannah Montana the movie, the game. Now obviously this game wasn't meant for people like me to play it, but that won't keep it off this list as a notoriously awful Disney creation. In short, it's a game based on a movie based on a TV show which just reeks of money-grubbing executive doing whatever they want with licensing. The odd shoehorning of in-game elements meant for the Wii really slows down the already boring storyline, and it's a living testament of what the worst video game ever could look like. And that has been the top 10 worst Disney video games ever. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to ring that bell as well. And please leave us a comment down below with your thoughts on this list. I'd love to hear if you agree or disagree with anything on it. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is click that playlist on the screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers saying until next time, take care.